Let's talk about a really powerful idea called the M-shaped mind. Look, if you've ever felt like your interests are all over the place, or if someone's ever hit you with that jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none line, you need to hear this. We're about to flip that whole idea on its head and show you why it's actually your greatest strength.
So, does this sound familiar? You're just curious about everything. Maybe you're learning to code one month, then it's all about a new language, and on the weekends you're trying woodworking. But there's that little voice in your head, right? It whispers that you're just a dabbler, that you're unfocused, and that you're falling behind all the specialists out there. Well, what if that anxiety is based on a total misunderstanding?
Yeah, we've all heard this one. It's almost always used as a put-down, isn't it? It's this idea that you have to pick one lane and stay in it forever. For a long time, this was pretty much the only way people thought about building a career or gaining expertise.
But here is the thing that almost nobody knows. That's not the whole quote. The full original phrase is actually a huge compliment. It goes, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one." See? That one little addition changes everything. It tells us that having a wide range of skills, having that breadth, is actually a massive advantage.
And that brings us to this new way of thinking, the M-shaped advantage. This is all about making a mental shift, moving away from seeing yourself as a dabbler and starting to see yourself as a polymath.
So, what exactly is an M-shaped mind? Okay, think of it this way. A specialist is like the letter I. They have super deep knowledge in one very narrow area. A pure generalist is maybe like a flat line. They know a little bit about a lot of things. But an M-shaped person, you develop deep expertise, like real expertise, in a few different areas. Those are the peaks of the M. And that broad base connecting them, that's your curiosity. And it's what lets you see patterns and connections that nobody else can.
Okay, so how does this actually work? I mean, it's not just about winning at trivia night. The power of the M-shaped mind comes from a really cool psychological concept. And honestly, you can think of it as your secret superpower.
And that superpower is called far transfer. It's your ability to take something you learned in one area and apply it to a totally different, unrelated problem. You know, like using a concept from biology, say natural selection, to figure out a business strategy. Or maybe using an idea from music theory to design a better website. Specialists are great at what's called near transfer, solving the same type of problem over and over. But you thrive by connecting these worlds that seem miles apart.
Now, to really understand why far transfer is so critical right now, we need to talk about the two kinds of environments we face problems in, because not all challenges are built the same. On one side, you've got what are called kind environments. Think of chess or golf. The rules are crystal clear, you know exactly what the goal is, and you get instant, accurate feedback. Do this, get that result. On the other side, you have wicked environments. And here, well, the rules are fuzzy, or they change, the patterns are unpredictable, and the feedback you get might be super slow or just plain wrong. In that kind world, specialists are absolute kings. Deep, focused expertise is the name of the game. A chess grandmaster gets better by studying thousands of chess games, not by learning to paint. The whole 10,000-hour rule, it was made for kind worlds. But in a wicked world, the game completely changes. When you're facing a problem that's brand new, something no one's ever seen before, like launching a new kind of technology or tackling climate change, the specialist's playbook is often useless. This is where the M-shaped mind shines, using far transfer to pull a solution out of a totally different box of tools.
And here's the most important point of all. Our world is becoming more and more wicked. All those predictable, kind problems, they're increasingly being automated. The problems that are left for us humans are the messy, complex, wicked ones. The ones that demand creative thinking that crosses boundaries.
So, what's the big takeaway for you in all this? Why does it matter? Well, it means that the very thing you might have thought was your weakness, that tendency to jump between interests, is actually becoming the most valuable skill in the modern economy.
Think of it as a journey, an identity shift. You might start out at step 1, feeling like a dabbler, a bit scattered. But then you move to step 2, where you start to recognize yourself as a generalist, someone with valuable, broad knowledge. The final evolution is step 3, fully embracing the M-shaped mind and intentionally using that far transfer ability as the superpower it truly is.
So let's reframe this one last time, loud and clear. Every single time you dive into a new hobby, or read a book that's way outside your field, or learn some seemingly random skill, you are not dabbling. You are building your capacity for innovation. You are adding one more unique tool to your creative toolbox.
And so I'll leave you with this final question to think about. Look at your own unique collection of interests and skills. What's the wildest, most unexpected connection you can make? What idea from your hobby in ancient history could you use to solve a problem at your marketing job? The future belongs to the people who can connect the dots.